Hello everybody and welcome to Wine Library TV. I am your host Gary Vaynerchuk and this is the Thunder Show, aka WLTV, the 19th most popular wine video show on the internets. Today's episode is going to be classic. I've been really mentally preparing for this show today. I'm really excited. There's a lot of different reasons I'm excited, but probably the biggest reason is that this item right here is probably the single most thing I get emailed about. And I do get thousands of emails a day, which I appreciate and I thank so much. So I think I might be able to eliminate some of my emails by doing this show, and that's why we're doing it. So what we're doing today is we're going to put the Clef Du Vin on trial. This device, and let's put a link down below because really I'm not a scientist and I don't want to go through all the things, but I'll give it to you very simply on the back. Do you know how your wine will evolve? Now what's really interesting about the Clef Du Vin is that this product does not claim that it's enhancing the aging of your wine, but it's giving you a look at where the wine will be in a year, 5 years, 10 years. So what it is it's this little device that costs $100 US. Bring out the Benjamins if you want one of these. And this is it. And it's got some sort of little, like, it looks like a dime with a penny in it. You know? And so that's what it is. So it claims to be some very interesting thing. And, you know, obviously, again, here are the instructions and, you know, it's very self-explanatory. Basically, in English, it says, commence by pouring yourself a glass of wine, taste and memorize. I can do that. Dip the Clef Du Vin disc into the glass for 1 second, taste again, and compare. Repeat the operation until the wine deteriorates. And that's it. So I guess what, and I'll look at the back, there's a lot of interesting claims and fun stuff, and Time Magazine says Clef Du Vin is the hottest accessory on the tasting circuit. What does Time Magazine know? And on the back it says, you know, basically, you know, it's easy as 1, 2, 3. For every second that you put the Clef Du Vin into your wine, it will age for a year. So in theory, 1 second will give us a year, 3 will give us 3 years, 5. And what I'm going to do today is I'm going to put it to the test with 2 very young and exceptional bottles of wine. We're going to do the Domaine Bizzo Pellini Montrachet 2005 vintage, which is 100% Chardonnay, a white Burgundy. While we're on education stuff, we'll talk about the Pellini Montrachet. It's just a tremendous area within Burgundy. And again, all white Burgundies are 100% Chardonnay, so keep that in mind. 2005, very young, but very exciting vintage in Burgundy. I'm super pumped to try that. And on the red side, we are going to use one of the classics from California, the Chateau Montelena 2003 Cabernet Sauvignon, which is $75 US, 93 points, Robert Parker, the man, the myth, the legend himself. So you can see I'm a little bit off today because this is really, really exciting. I mean, this is completely interesting to me, and I guess we should get right into it. I don't want anything to change or go off, so what I've done here is I've got 4 fresh glasses. By the rules, the Riedel, the Vinum Chardonnay glasses, and the Cabernet glasses. So, you know, I think we're all set to really, really put this to the challenge. We just popped these, so they're kind of young. And so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pour these wines into the glass. And I'm going to have fun with that. While I'm doing that, I'm going to yap about a couple things. A lot of people have been asking me, been emailing me saying they've noticed people talking about offlines, getting together and tasting wine together from Wine Library TV. And if you're wondering how to find out about events getting together, I have showed up to some, and where there's some really cool stuff going on and free wine information, there is going to be a link right down here to the Wine Library TV forum. You should definitely check it out, sign up, introduce yourself, and then check out Wine Library TV Meets. Or you can click up here, the network tab, and you'll see all our sites, and you'll see forum as one of them. You should totally check this out. The family, the community that's being built by wine is just downright shocking. It's a very special component to wine. I think it is the most overlooked. I call wine this generation's board game. And the reason I do that is it's bringing people together at an enormous level, tasting groups and all this stuff, and it's really cool. Plus, there's a lot of people, and they're much smarter than I am, and you can learn some things. I'm going to put this down for now. All right. I mean, you get this beautiful fake leather case for $100, so if nothing else, that's cool. Let's get into it. This is the first wine, and this is the Bizzo Pellini Montrachet 2005, and this is going to be, we're going to do this without the Clef Du Vin, because I kind of want to taste this for my darn self. So let's give this a little sniffy sniff, 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 sniffy sniff. Very pretty nose, but very tight. Young wine, no doubt about that. I'm getting a little hint of a butter mineral component. So almost like if you put on a beautiful 100-degree day like this, actually it's in the 80s now, it's nice as heck outside. But if you took a nice rock and you put a piece of butter on it and let it sit out in the sun and then kind of licked it, that's kind of what this smells like. Very mineral butter component going on. I like it. This is what I love about Burgundy. They always bring a lot more minerality than most of the other countries in the world. Let's give it a smelly, no, smelly, tasty. Wow. This wine is sensational. It has a tremendous mouth coating ability without being over the top and too oaky and too popcorn. It has a tremendous apple, pear, mineral, stone flavor profile with beautiful integrated acidity, long and delicate on the finish, which is tremendous. Wow. $41 is a lot of money for a bottle of wine. But if you want to get a serious white wine for a special occasion, I highly, highly recommend the Bizzo regular, standard Pellini Montrachet. This is a very clean and beautiful expression of Chardonnay. Even has hints of floral mint on the finish, which is very different and very cool. This wine's bringing the thunder. Really nice. Now we're going to do the Montelena. No, actually, you know what? Let's do this. Pour this back. So I got a real taste of that. I understand it. I'm really trying to concentrate because this is a big deal. I mean, this is $100. So if this works, it could change our lives. Here it is. It is the Clef Du Vin. Ready? I mean, I can count. I mean, it's not super hard. I'm not brought out the watch like we need the official watch, but I think I can count. I'm not going to do 1 year because I almost feel... Actually, you know what? I should do... I'll do one. I'll do... On the white, I'll do 1. I'll do 5, and I'll do 10. Because that feels pretty right. So here we go. This is awesome. All right. Here we go. One. It's insane. There is something definitely different on the nose. It's a little cloudier, almost becomes a little bit like washer fluid-esque on the nose. There's definitely a little bit of a difference on the nose. Let's give it a whirl. It has also clearly affected the taste of the wine. For the worse, I should mention, the wine feels much more flabby and acidic. I mean, to the first wine, where I would have probably rated this wine like 92 or 93 points, this is more like an 88, 89 point wine. So it's clearly done something. However, to flat out make me say that this feels like it's been aged for a year longer, I wouldn't definitely say that just yet. There's clearly a difference. Let's move on, as I'm being perplexed. Let's go for 5 years. Now, what's great for me is I've done a lot of older white Burgundy. I just did a 96 white Burgundy tasting recently and a 2001. So I'm really in a nice shape. That's why I really want to go 5 and 10, kind of go off that memory case. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's, once again, a difference in the smell of this wine. It is actually a little bit more open than the second wine, a little bit closer to the first wine in bouquet, a little more golden apple component. Let's give it a sip. Some of the flavors are gone now. It's a little bit more tart. This device is clearly affecting this wine. Does it feel 5 years more aged to me? It's definitely a flabbier version. No question. All the big ballers and rollers, just for fun, you should definitely do this experiment. I mean, it's $100 entry fee, so CKCs will skip this one, unless you're rolling that way. Anyway, there's clearly a difference. Clearly, this little magic mechanism that they claim is like the special thing. And what's so perplexing is that the aging of wine is such a scientific question mark and so many unknown factors. But clearly, this copper product is doing something to the oxidation of this wine, like any copper would. But at the end of the day, it's not just that. But it is definitely affecting the wine. I guess the question is, did it taste 5 years older? I don't know. This is wild. I'm having fun. I hope you're enjoying this. This is definitely clearly doing something. Let's go for 12 years, which is right around the age I thought that this would be really... You know what? Let's go... We're going to go 15 years. I thought this was 10 to 12 years aging. Let's go 15 and see if it's like over the top. I'm going to go 12. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Had to go Russian on you there a little bit. Show my little Russian skills. Ironically, this smells most similar to the 5-year aging process more than anything else. Let's give it a whirl. It had some momentum going, but with this 12-year, it is wild what this little copper thing does. This wine is too acidic, structured, and youthful to ever think that this wine would be what it tastes like in 12 years. Period. I can tell you right now, firmly, that I just don't see that happening. It actually feels like the 5-year was the... Did I go 1, 3, 5? Or what did, and then 12? Yeah.
5 and 12.
Oh, and then a normal one, 1, 5, 12. It actually feels that the 12 is most similar to the 1. The 5 actually seemed the most aged of the bunch, and it kind of seemed like it went backwards. Let's reserve that for now, and let's go to the Montelena. We're kind of just gathering information right now. Chateau Montelena, again, 2003 estate cab. 93 points Parker, 75 bones. This is the regular normal version. Let's give it a whirl. Very obvious green component right off the bat. Very vegetal on the nose. Little V8 action for the kids that like the vegetables like I did. Little celery on the nose. Little hint of cherry, but not too much. Not too over oaked, which is nice. Good to see from Montelena. Very, very, very vegetal. It's young Cabernet. Let's give it a whirl. Perfect. This wine should be very interesting. Very, very tannic, very tight. Beautiful rounded vanilla chocolate bombs going on here. A little half and half action. Arnold Palmer, but not iced tea and lemonade. Vanilla and chocolate. I like that component. It's very obvious in this wine. I'm also getting a very beautiful blueberry meets lilac at the flagpole to fight. No, to hold hands and walk home together. They're integrating beautifully and enjoying each other. So chocolate, vanilla, blueberry, and lilac are the 4 components I'm really getting through this wine. It's a nice Cabernet. And here we go. Montelena is an old aging classic wine. So I'm going to go 3, 7, 15. Let's see what happens. I think you can go back into the wine too. I don't know. We'll see. Here we go. I'm going to go 3 years. 1, 2, 3. All right. I mean, this thing clearly does stuff. I mean, this is really wild. This is really wild. But it almost feels like the nose has been dummied down. Almost going from red to pink, if that makes sense. Let's give it a whirl. This wine definitely tastes considerably different. It definitely has a more matured flavor. It definitely does. I have to give it on this wine, especially I can feel it. The tannins are a little bit more subdued, but the fruit, I almost feel like it's radiation, you know? Like, I don't know how to put it. It feels like it's doing kind of what you want, but it's not just taking that into, it's taking away from other components. It feels like the fruit is dummied down as well. It's like a kid who skips a couple of grades. You know, maybe intellectually he can be there, but socially he's awkward. And I feel like that might be what this is. This is like the grade skipper. Let's go 10 on it. Let's go 7 on this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's give it a whirl. Definitely seems a little bit more toned down again than the third wine. Again, I am no scientist, and I didn't do enough homework on this. I kind of bought it the way everybody else would buy it. You know, oh look, 3 seconds, you know. So you got to do your own research on what this is claiming exactly to do. But the gist is it's trying to give you a preview of when you buy wine, what it's going to be like to figure out the optimal storage time for yourself. Kind of neat little concept. Again, muted down, definitely toned down, but so is the fruit, which is also possible of what it would do. Let's give it a whirl. Yeah, there's something clearly going on here. It's definitely doing something to tone down the tannins. But what it's also doing is putting the wine in a very awkward stage. In 7 years, a Montelena would not be this bright and youthful, yet with no tannins, kind of, or that kind of soft tannins. It's creating a very awkward situation. This is a wine I'm very familiar with, and I've been drinking many vintages and watching it evolve. That's why I picked it for this event. I don't know. Let's go 20 years on this right now. This would probably be real good. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. I feel like we're doing like Sesame Street. Like I feel like the Cookie Monster the count, right?
That grapes go by.
Smells dusty, a little chalky now all of a sudden. Yeah, I mean, it's totally different on the nose. It's the most mellow of the bunch, no doubt about it. Let's give it a taste. The tannic flavor shot up dramatically on this wine. There's just no way I see this wine tasting this way in 20 years. Very disjointed. The tannins are all over the place. It's got a heat aspect going on now. Now, so, I guess, I don't know, I'm a little bummed. I'm going to go another 20 seconds on this wine, because that's what they tell you to do. I think you can go into... So this will now replicate, I guess, 40 years. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. All right, now we're 40 years ahead. So welcome to the year 2047. I'm still doing this. I'm bald now, little gray. I've got the iRobot instead of the iPhone. Hey, iRobot, can you get me my shoes? Thanks, buddy. I'm not remembering what the name of the show is, but this is 2003 Chateau Montelena. Let's see what it's like. And Justin Timberlake III. Can you believe he just married Lindsay Lohan III? Wild. Let's give this a sniff. Now this has almost like a metallic aluminum bat kind of smell to it. Let's give it a whirl. Now this wine is just purely very dry, vegetal. The tannins are kind of weird. It does feel a little bit flabbier. I don't even know what to say. This is like the weirdest episode ever. This thing is definitely, this little copper thing, which is dealing with the oxidation. It's got to be. I don't know what else it could possibly do. It's all it is this little thing that's got like a key on it. Clearly it is affecting the chemistry of the wine. I am far from a scientist. I like to make pretend I'm Mr. Wizard sometimes, but other than that, I really can't tell you exactly what it's doing. Is it changing the wine's flavor profile and nose? Absolutely 100%. I can definitely tell you that. Is it inducing a feeling to me, who has had, knock on wood, the privilege to drink a lot of wines over time, to believe that these are what the wines will taste like in those coming years? Not so much, in the great words of Borat. However, there's only one real way to really test the real validity of this product. And that is to bring out the pink stuff. Now, we're not scared of the pink stuff. Remember, guys? This is the Beringer 2006 White Zinfandel. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pour and rinse into this glass the Beringer White Zin. And what we're going to do is we're going to pour ourselves a nice glass, and now we're going to drink it, because that's what we like to do. Listen, America grew up on sugar. I know why some people love this. But now that everybody's drinking up on water, watch out for Sauvignon Blanc sales. Okay, that was refreshing and strawberry and so much fun. We're now going to put the Clef to the test. Sit back and fast forward, because we're going to age this wine 50 years. Most White Zinfandels shouldn't last past 2 or 3. 50 years, we clearly should see a difference. So, Clef, do your magic. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50. Yeah, I'm just trying to show you I can count. Let's give this a taste. Now, in theory, this is a 50-year aged White Zinfandel. I've never had one of those before in my life, but I promise you, I would almost guarantee that that wine would be undrinkable. Let's see if this is drinkable. Smells actually very similar to the wine that we just had. As a matter of fact, let's do this. Very similar. This smells a little bit more metal action, a little more Transformers on your butt. I like the Clef Du Vin. If you can really afford it, it's kind of a fun thing if you're really into chemistry or you're a science guy and you can play around and have your wine taste all different. But the White Zinfandel experiment right now absolutely seals the deal for me to tell you that I would not recommend it as a perfect science for figuring out how your wines will taste if aged. For a White Zinfandel to taste so good after 50 years of aging, probably better than it did right out the bottle, to me, is highly unlikely. And so overall, I'm going to give the Clef a major pass with 40 Zs. Question of the day. Who is the biggest lurker you know? Because you know what, lurkers? I need you. I need you to come out. So many came out with the ASS. I really appreciate that. Come out now. Tell me what you thought about this show. Definitely very awkward. Very different. I'll see you on the couch tomorrow. That's where you like me, right? Because you, with a little bit of me, we're changing the wine world, aren't we?